just chasing my dream, bro. I'm just doing what I love. I don't bother with nobody. You don't know me. You don't know where I done been, what I done been through, the shit I had to do to get here. All I'm trying to do is take care of my family and live my dream.
Going to LA, things just worked out, and not just my favor, but my team as well, just in our favor, from being able to line up some meetings while we were out there, some big meetings that a lot of good things is coming from those meetings. So I'm just excited. Some stuff I can't announce yet, but yeah, I told myself while I was out there, I was just in the car with Toby and L, and I had just told them, I was like, bro, in the past last year, I had this idea of when I dropped my collection and I was finished with it, that I just wanted to hit like LA, New York, and go by a bunch of stores that carry like where I see my stuff being at, like Dover Street or Patron of the New, those type of boutique stores that carry, the top brands in the world. That's how I view my stuff. So I was like, last year I had that idea where I wanted to go there, but timing is everything. And I didn't do it last year, and I thank God I didn't do it last year, just because I've been able to get a lot more clear on what I want for No One's Ordinary, like the direction I want to take it in, and what I want to stay true to, and just being clear on like what I'm looking to accomplish. And with all that being said, I had that idea while I was out there. It came back to me. I was like, while I'm here, I should go by these stores, take my clothes in there, and just give personal opinion. But I didn't want it to be like biased. I didn't want to go in there and be like, hey, I'm Huey. This is my clothes. Can you tell me what you think about my clothes? I feel like when you put somebody in a position like that, they don't know you. They don't know how you're going to react. Most people won't give you like an honest opinion. It'll kind of be swayed in some type of way. So I was talking to them. I was like, bro, how can I go in these stores and like remove myself from it to where they give like a honest opinion? So we had a lot of back and forth, and we came up with the idea to try to go in there and be like, hey, we from Houston, we out here right now just doing some market research on a brand that we work with, and we just looking to get personal opinion. And also, I know as like them people in those positions, they probably have people all the time trying to come pitch to them how they could put their clothes in them stores. For me, I was like, that's not even my goal. I'm not even trying to like be in these stores. So I don't even want, I want to make that clear when we go in there. The plan was to go in the stores, tell them like, hey, we from Houston, we out of towners, we here right now, just looking to get some market research for a brand that we work with. It's experimental. There's no pressure on like we pushing this on y'all to where we trying to get in the store and nothing. We just looking for personal opinion. So that was the goal. That was kind of like foundation of how the approach was gonna go. Yeah, we ended up doing that, and we went by a few of the stores, and it was all good. It was all good. It was all great opinions. It led to further things. It led to, actually end up meeting with buyers for those specific stores, the people who actually make those decisions. Like it led to something further than us just kind of freestyling. We didn't really have no intentions on it. And for me, I was telling them I'm so unattached from all this to where I don't feel nothing. Explaining that better would be like, for example, we went into the first store. They loved it. They was like, man, this is really good. They wanted to put me in contact with the owners. They talked to me about like doing pop-ups there. And these are stores that carry, the top brands in the world. So anybody that isn't just like level-headed as me, you'll be so excited. Like they love my stuff, all of this, and you'll be hyped. But for me, like we got back in the car after the first store, and one of them asked me, they was like, how you feel, bro? And I was like, I don't feel nothing. And then I explained, I was like, bro, I'm so neutral. I don't want to say I don't feel nothing. I'm just neutral, put it like that. Because I know my stuff is good. And I don't make clothes with like I make clothes for me. That's like I'm expressing myself. So I'm not making clothes for other people. It's all personal opinion at the end of the day. So I'm going in these places and I'm not swayed by somebody's opinion, meaning that if I go into this store and they tell me how good my stuff is and how much they love it, if I allow that to make me feel good, if that start like boosting my ego, boosting my confidence, then vice versa. If I go into the next store and they say, "Hey, bro, this sucks," we hate it. This is the worst thing ever. That means I have to be sad now. That's just how I look at it. Like that means I gotta be sad now because if I got high when this store said they loved it, that means when this store say they hate it, I gotta get low because my emotions is like depending upon the outcome of what these people saying. And for me, I'm neutral. Like we go in this store and y'all tell me y'all love it. It's the best thing since sliced bread. In my head, I'm like, I already knew it was good. And then vice versa, I go into the store and they say they hate it and it's the worst thing ever. I'm good as well because I know it's good and I know like why I'm doing it and all of that. I'm just saying that to say like that's how you gotta be in this. You gotta be neutral. You can't be all over the place. Your emotions just can't be all over the place because you'll end up setting yourself up for failure. It's just like I feel like it's all like preparation. As I'm climbing, it's gonna come a time where I'm getting all these publications, these media outlets and magazines. They're gonna be writing about me and all these good things about you in the media. You're in the media in a positive way. I'm never gonna even read that stuff because I just want to be neutral. Like if you start engaging in that stuff and it start making you feel like you're relying on those things to feel confident and like good about what you're doing and about yourself, it's gonna come a time where those same publications are saying bad things about you. They judging your thing, the things that you putting out. They judging anything, and now they start putting out things that might not be as favorable to you. And then it's like, okay, when they was putting out all this good stuff about me, I was allowing that to make me feel good. And then now that they putting this bad stuff out about me, now the result of that is gonna be the opposite. I'm gonna start feeling bad about myself. You gotta be neutral in all of this throughout your journey. Like you can't let opinions, public opinion, of all that type of stuff sway you in any way. You gotta know why you doing this, who you speaking to, who's it for, because it's not for everybody. Like, yeah, you want everybody to like and appreciate it, but when it comes to art, I feel like all art is for a specific group of people. It's for the people who get it. It's for the people who you're speaking to. It's for the people that probably share similar experiences that you shared to what the message you're trying to get across, it relates to them. Or it's somebody that just feels like they understand you. Either or, I feel like that's what art is supposed to do. When it comes to music, like you might listen to an artist who probably rapping or singing about certain experiences that remind you of certain things that you went through. You connect with them on that level. Or it could be somebody who doesn't like the things, the stories that they tell in their music and their art. It doesn't relate to you specifically as far as like things you've been through, but you understand it. So that make you feel like you understand the person more. So you end up connecting with it. So that's just how art is. You got to be okay with that, knowing that it's not for everybody. I feel like that's where a lot of people struggle. Like when you try to please everybody, you end up pleasing nobody. So for me, my stuff isn't for everybody. It's for who it's for, and it's for the people that appreciate it. It's for the people that it's speaking to. It's for the people that can relate to the stories I'm telling. It's for the people that may not be able to just relate to the stories I'm telling, but they understand the stories I'm telling and they find some type of value in that. But yeah, it's like my little rant I'm going on. But yeah, that was one part of the trip. I'm dropping those in episodes. Like every store that I went to, I'm gonna drop it in the episode, like episode this store blank review on No One's Ordinary. A lot of the other stuff I can't even speak on right now. Some stuff I don't want to speak on too soon. Oh yeah, I even decided to even record this right now because what I was doing, I was following up with some of the buyers. It was some of the buyers at those stores that ended up meeting me and asked me for certain things. Like they asked me to send them emails, and they gave me like lists of things that they want from me and stuff. So I just did it. Right now, I'm not interested in even putting my clothes in stores for multiple reasons. I know, like I was just on the phone in the car talking to my homie about this, and I was telling him I was like, I know it's a lot of people probably like dream and goal to be able to be in position to put their clothes in some of these stores. But for me, I feel like everything is about timing. That's how I look at all of this. It's about timing. I feel like you could be too big too soon to where you end up like making a move too early and not calculating it correctly to where you don't really benefit from it the right way as opposed to being more patient and revisiting that at a later time. I'm not saying like I'm not somebody that they feel like okay, you just got everything got to be calculated, but some things you just got to put more thought into. You can't just be like, oh, this store want my clothes in there, and you just pull the trigger. Because what happens if your clothes go in that store and then they don't sell because nobody knows who you are? Then it's like one, they going in the store, they're not familiar with your brand, the name, the story, none of that, because of the fact that you're not big enough yet. Yeah, you make good clothes, but you haven't reached enough people yet. And if you haven't reached enough people yet, then there's nobody going into that store like, oh, we want to buy this brand because we know it's here. So I feel like should probably focus more on building more of a community, more of an audience that's actually engaging and shopping with you and building more brand awareness to where okay, when you make that decision to go in that store, people know it's in there, people actually going in there for people in there and they see it, then it's like, okay, I done heard of this before. It's in here. Oh, they make good stuff. I like this. Let me buy it. It's only a select. I know people think like we live in different times now. This is just my personal opinion. People think that you could just make good clothes, put them in the store, and then it's people in there that's going there to shop, and they think and they see it and they like it and they feel like it's good, and then they buy it without knowing the brand or anything like that. For me, I feel like that's possible to a certain degree because of the times that we live in. It's a specific group of people that think like that. For me, I'm somebody that I could care less about the name of the brand. For me, it's like, is this good? Do I like this? I don't buy stuff for the name. So I'm the type of shopper that could go into a store like that and see an item, like it, and purchase it without knowing it's XYZ brand or whatever. And it's so many like layers to all of that. Rewinding a little bit, you could go into that store, and I talked about being too early and being in there and nobody knows about you. You can go into that store and then same scenario, you don't have that much reach yet, that much brand awareness yet, to where your relationship with the store isn't at best, meaning that you don't have that much leverage, and they kind of hold all the cards in their hand, meaning that your placement in the store, all of that stuff matters. It's a whole like scientific like way that people even design their stores. Like most people are right-handed. When they walk into the store, they're gonna walk to the right and they gonna kind of circle it this way. It's just so much stuff that goes into all of this. The store could be upstairs and downstairs, and they have you downstairs in a corner in the back to where 75% of people that's walking into that store don't even go to that part of the store. So it's like these people aren't even seeing your clothes because you don't have shelf space, a priority of shelf space, because all these other brands are more priority. Why? Because these are the brands that people know, and the name alone can sell more than it actually being a good garment. These bigger brands gonna have priority over you. So that's another thing to where you just in some back rack and downstairs in a corner to where nobody's seeing your stuff. And I feel like it's all about like I feel like first impressions are everything to where you in that store too early and people at the store might like your clothes and want it to be in there, but your stuff gets in the store and then it doesn't sell for so many different reasons. It doesn't sell, and now you looking like a brand that doesn't sell. Now they perceive you a certain way in the store, meaning that it probably put a bad taste in their mouth because it's like, okay, yeah, we gave this brand a shot and their items didn't sell. We don't know if we want to buy the next collection from them. So now you put yourself in a position to where you got less leverage now. Like they had a bad experience with you, whether they try to double back with you later or whatever. it's just like, all right, we remember in the past this stuff didn't sell, so we kind of more hesitant to buy another collection or want the next thing in there. It's just so many different things. And then it's like a big problem. We talked about this a lot while we were on our trip in LA. We talked about just the in-store experience. I'm somebody I feel like I nerd out about a lot of this type of stuff because I'm just so into this. And the way I think about things, probably like the average person don't really care as much, which is cool. Like we all into what we into. But for me, I'm like, when you go into the store, your in-store experience at these stores. So it's one thing for a shopper to go into a store and not know about a particular brand. But to me, I feel like it's the sales reps, it's the people that's in the store. I feel like it's their job to be able to educate that potential buyer, that shopper about certain items and certain brands. Like your in-store experience, I feel like it matters so much. If I'm walking into the store and let's say I grab something off the rack, it's probably like a brand that doesn't have the biggest name. If you somebody that like you could like this piece and the sales agent comes and they're like, oh yeah, this is XYZ. They give you the name of the brand. They say, yo, this is XYZ. They're from Houston. They've been doing a lot of good things in Houston. They have a big reach in their city right now, and they're growing. And it's it's this, is that. The message behind their brand is this. And yeah, they make really good stuff. They're doing a lot of good things. Boom, boom. Just kind of like giving insight about the brand. I feel like that'll make your in-store experience better and that'll make items sell more because the sales reps should be educated on these brands. It's one thing to just be in the store and just like on your phone when customers walk in and it's just like give them a little head nod or whatever. It's like, nah, in my opinion, I feel like should go in and the reps should be educated about the brands. A lot of people, when they go shopping in stores like that, they're there looking for something for a particular reason. They could be going out or an event's coming up. So just having that type of conversation. I saw a good experience at one store while I was out there. There was a woman in there who was shopping for her boyfriend. She was shopping for her boyfriend and it was for a particular event and he wanted to wear a set, meaning something that had a matching top and bottom, whether it was like a denim top with the matching pants. She just wanted a matching top and bottom set. She was looking at something, she wanted a size. They didn't have that size in that brand in that particular set. And he was like, we have some other things like that with this particular brand. They make a lot of sense. He just walked her over and introduced her to a brand that she had no knowledge of or wasn't even familiar with. And she was like, they make really good sets. They've been doing it for, and he just started educating her about it. And I just love that so much. And she ended up making a purchase. She probably already had intentions of buying something when she went in. I'm not just saying that that was the sole reason she actually pulled the trigger and made that purchase, but I'm saying it helped. It's one thing to just be in there and be like, oh, yeah, we won't have that size. Like, yeah, if you'd have came a month ago, we would have had you. Or like, we don't have that size and that's just it. It's like, nah. The sales associate was knowledgeable about other brands and he was able to figure out what they wanted and he was able to find a solution. Like, okay, we may not have this in this size, but we have something that's similar. In this brand, they make good clothes, this, and that. And that was just a good experience. I feel like it just needs to be more of that. And talking to Toby and Elle while we was out there, we was kind of like just going around stores and examining our in-store experience. And Els made a good point. He was like, I feel like all the good customer service and experience has been translated over to the restaurant industry. And that's why it's so much money and people are so into going into so many different restaurants and all of that stuff now, which is good. Like I'm into all of that stuff as well. And I agreed. I was like, that's true. You go into certain establishments as restaurants and a lot of places go above and beyond to make sure you have just a great experience. I'm just a sucker for a good experience. Like that's all I'm about. So I value that. I value people who find value in that as well. I'm going to these stores, but I'm also interviewing these stores as well because it's gonna come a time where I do want to put my stuff in these stores. I want to know that like if it does come a time, put it like this, if it does come a time where I decide to put my stuff in these stores, I want to know that it's gonna be people in here who actually care. I want it to be people in there that's actually working and doing their jobs. That's just my opinion. Another thing, the position I want to be in, I want to build and keep this exclusivity and this type of vibe of like it's so tricky when you start making the decisions to go in stores because yeah, to be able to go global and national and all of that, one of the things that can help you as far as spreading is getting all these accounts in different stores in different countries, where it's accounts in the stores in Australia, accounts in Canada, accounts in the New Yorks, the LAs, the Miamis, the all over. That's gonna help because it's one thing to sell clothes online, but it's a difference when a shopper can go into a store in Australia, see your brand, try it on, like it, purchase it, and now you have reach out there. But I also, for me, I want to keep the vibe of like, I don't want to be too accessible. And I've been trying to find a way on what that looks like for me to find a balance in between that. Of like, yeah, the goal is to have people in your clothes, and but it's like we've seen so many phases of people of this brand coming in and it being the hottest thing and everybody's wearing it at this point in time, and then it goes from a thing that everybody's in to now being the thing that you look crazy for wearing, or like people start deeming like that's not cool to wear because it's been burnt out. And then it's like we've seen this over and over with so many different. Okay, this brand is going crazy at this moment. They're having their moment. The next brand coming, next brand coming in. And I'm the type I learn from so many different people's experiences. So I sit back and I'm like, okay, you want that type of demand, but how do you maintain longevity in this? For me, it's like it's as simple as like supply and demand. You have this much demand. Everybody wants to make money, but for me, it's bigger than that. I'm not going to just start pressing out so much just to supply the demand. It's supply versus demand. Is like we have this much demand, let's have this much supply to where we can keep demand up. And so for me, I'm just like, okay, what does that look like? Being able to still go global and all of that, and still think about like what's true to you and what's true to the longevity of No One's Ordinary. And for me, I'd rather keep building the community around this. And I have a lot of ideas I want to share them because I have people that can get to those things before me. But for me, I just want to be in a position that if I decide to say, okay, I want to be in these stores, then I get to hand pick the accounts I want. That's when you have leverage to where it's like, oh, no, I don't want to be in here. I want to be in here. I want to be in here. I don't want to be in here. I don't want to be in here, but I do want to be in here. That's the position I want to be in for so many reasons. I want to be in places that actually care and make sure your stuff is selling. I don't want to be in a place of like in too soon. You've been in there too soon and then your clothes don't sell. What does the store want to do? Discount it. So the store starts putting your stuff 30% off, 50% off, 70% off. Now, to me, that just diminishes the value of the brand because now it's like it's only selling because people are buying it for 20% of what actually it costs. And basically getting it for free at this point. I just don't want that for me. And nothing wrong with like sales, but like I don't know. It just I don't feel like that's the route for me. At least not right now and not today. So I don't know, man. It's just I'm just experiencing right now. Honestly, like I'm excited for. I'm just excited for what's happening. I'm excited for what's to come. Man, it's a lot of good things coming for me. I know God got a real plan for me, man. Like he just got a real plan for me. It's a lot of things working out in my favor right now. I'm more clear than ever. Like I was telling my bro back in March, he was at my warehouse and he pulled up on me. I was working on some stuff. I'm on my whiteboard just writing a lot of stuff down. I tell him I was like, bro, I don't even know what I was doing last year. And he was like, he just started laughing. He was like, bro, you crazy. Like, what you mean? I was like, I'm just so clear now. Like, I'm so clear on what my message is. I'm so clear on who I'm speaking to. I'm so clear on what's for me and what's not for me. I'm so clear on like the direction and all of that to where I spent so much time these last few months. It was all foundational. Like I was focused more on that. And that was just like the best thing that ever happened for me. So I'm super like, this all the stuff I have that's coming. It's like, man, it's like I'm excited. I'm excited, and it's just gonna be beautiful, man. Like, seriously. Connect with me on all socials, Instagram and TikTok at Huey's World. And if you're not subscribed to the channel already, make sure you do so. Like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it all. Love.